Today, we're ranking the top 10 US states people are avoiding. This isn't about throwing shade at any state or its residents. It's about exploring the challenges and perceptions influencing migration. Every state has its own unique story. So, buckle up, grab your metaphorical map, and let's navigate this landscape together. Remember, DFTBA applies even when we're talking about places some people avoid. First up, we find ourselves in a state often associated with sunshine, Hollywood dreams, and, well, avocados. California, the land of innovation and in-and-out, sadly also tops the list for outbound migration. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. California is grappling with a housing crisis of epic proportions. We're talking median home prices soaring well above $1 million in many areas. Imagine trying to afford rent, let alone a mortgage, on an entry-level salary. It's enough to make even the most dedicated surfer consider hanging up their board. But it's not just housing. The cost of living in general, from groceries to gas, can feel like a cruel joke. Add to that the legendary traffic congestion, where rush hour feels more like rush epic. And it's understandable why many Californians are feeling priced out of their own paradise. It's a stark reminder that even in a state known for its abundance, the American dream can feel increasingly out of reach for many. Now, it's important to remember that California's challenges are often a byproduct of its successes. The state is a hub for technology, entertainment, and entrepreneurship, attracting talent and driving innovation. But this success comes at a cost. The influx of high earners has created a ripple effect, driving up prices and displacing longtime residents. It's a classic case of supply and demand, but with real human consequences. And while California is making efforts to address these issues, the solutions are complex and slow-moving. So, what does this mean for the future of the Golden State? Will it continue to be a magnet for dreamers, or will the cost of living force many to seek opportunities elsewhere? It's a question that weighs heavily on the minds of policymakers and residents alike. One thing's for sure, California's story is far from over. It's a story of contradictions, of progress and struggle, of beauty and burden. And it's a story that reflects the larger challenges facing our nation. From the sun-drenched beaches of California, we journey north to the rugged, untamed wilderness of Alaska. The last frontier, as it's often called, is a land of breathtaking beauty, abundant wildlife, and, let's be honest, some pretty intense weather. Now, I'm all for a good snow day, but Alaska takes winter to a whole new level. We're talking months of darkness, sub-zero temperatures, and enough snow to bury a moose. And while some people thrive in these conditions, others might find it a bit, shall we say, isolating. And it's not just the cold. The remoteness of Alaska can be both a blessing and a curse. Sure, you can escape the hustle and bustle of city life, but you're also a long way from, well, pretty much everything. Need a gallon of milk? You might have to hop on a plane. So while Alaska offers a unique and adventurous lifestyle, it's not for the faint of heart. It's a land that demands resilience, self-sufficiency, and a high tolerance for frozen tundra. But let's not forget, Alaska is more than just extreme weather and vast landscapes. It's a state rich in history, culture, and natural resources. From its indigenous communities to its thriving fishing and tourism industries, Alaska offers a unique blend of tradition and opportunity. The state also boasts a surprisingly diverse economy, with sectors like healthcare and education playing a significant role. And let's not forget the Northern Lights, which, let's be honest, are pretty darn cool. However, Alaska also faces its share of challenges. The state has a high cost of living, limited job opportunities in certain sectors, and a lack of infrastructure in some areas. And then there's the whole earthquake zone thing, which you know is something to consider. So, while Alaska might not be for everyone, it's a state that commands respect. It's a land of extremes, of beauty and challenge, of isolation and community. And for those who embrace its wild spirit, Alaska can be a truly rewarding place to call home. So we've talked about the Golden State's not-so-golden affordability and Alaska's, let's say, invigorating climate. But now we turn to a different kind of challenge, one faced by folks in West Virginia. See, when we think about states people avoid, it's not always about sunshine or Instagrammable avocado toast. Sometimes it's about the struggle to make ends meet. West Virginia, with its rich history and captivating scenery, unfortunately grapples with a tough economic reality. The decline of the coal industry has left a void. It's a classic story. Industries change, times change, but people's need for reliable work, that doesn't change. And that's a big part of why West Virginia finds itself on this list. West Virginia is a state with a lot of heart. Its people are known for their resilience and deep connection to the land. Efforts are underway to diversify the economy and create new opportunities. There's a growing tech sector and tourism continues to be a source of revenue. It's important to remember the people behind the statistics. Maybe West Virginia will write a new chapter in its story. From the mountains of West Virginia, we travel south to Mississippi, a state with a rich cultural heritage. But Mississippi faces serious healthcare challenges, ranking near the bottom in national health outcomes. Real families struggle to access care. High rates of chronic diseases and limited access to providers. Poverty exacerbates these problems. Access to affordable healthcare should be a right. It's not all doom and gloom though. There are dedicated healthcare professionals in Mississippi working tirelessly to make a difference. People who are passionate about providing quality care, often in challenging circumstances. And there are ongoing efforts to address the root causes of these health disparities. Community health centers are popping up, trying to bridge the gap in underserved areas. Telehealth is becoming more prevalent, connecting people in remote locations with doctors they might not otherwise see. And there's a growing movement to address social determinants of health, things like poverty and access to healthy food, which play a huge role in overall well-being. But it's an uphill battle, and it's going to take a concerted effort from policymakers, healthcare providers, and communities themselves to turn the tide. The health of a state is a reflection of its values, and right now, Mississippi is sending a message that it needs to do better. And I have a feeling that message is being heard. From the health challenges of Mississippi, we head west to the land of enchantment, New Mexico. Known for its stunning landscapes and vibrant cultures, New Mexico also struggles with high crime rates. Cities like Albuquerque face significant challenges with violent and property crimes. It's a complex issue rooted in poverty, gang activity, and lack of opportunity. This is a real problem affecting real people every single day. Now, it's not all bad news. There are people working tirelessly to combat crime in New Mexico. Dedicated law enforcement officers, community leaders, and organizations working to break the cycle of violence. But it's an uphill battle, and it's going to take a multifaceted approach to make a real difference. Some argue for tougher law enforcement, while others advocate for addressing the root causes of crime: poverty, lack of education, and limited opportunities. And there's no easy answer. It's going to take a combination of approaches, a willingness to invest in communities, and a commitment to rehabilitation and prevention. New Mexico is a state of contrasts, stunning beauty juxtaposed with the harsh realities of crime. But amidst the challenges, there's hope. Hope that by addressing the root causes of crime, by investing in communities, and by working together, New Mexico can shed its unwanted reputation and truly become the land of enchantment for all its residents. Louisiana, the Pelican state known for its vibrant culture, jazz music, and delicious Cajun and Creole cuisine. But beneath the surface lies a harsh reality. Louisiana ranks near the bottom in education. Systemic issues are hard to ignore. A state's commitment to education reflects its commitment to its future. Underfunding schools sends a message that education isn't a priority. Louisiana has so much potential. It's a state full of creative, resilient people. To thrive, Louisiana needs to invest in its children's education. Recognizing the problem is the first step towards solutions. By shining a light on this issue, we can spark a movement for change, help Louisiana live up to its full potential. Now I know what you might be thinking, John, you're just scratching the surface here. And you're right, I am. The issues facing Louisiana's education system are complex and multifaceted. We're talking about poverty, about access to resources, about funding disparities between school districts, and so much more. And it's important to remember that there are amazing teachers in Louisiana, dedicated educators working tirelessly to give their students the best possible education, but they're fighting an uphill battle against a system that often feels stacked against them. So, what can be done? Well, it starts with awareness, with acknowledging the problem and understanding its root causes. Then, it's about demanding better from our elected officials, advocating for increased funding, for better teacher training, for equitable resources across all school districts. Because every child, regardless of their zip code, deserves access to a quality education. It's not just about test scores, it's about opportunity, about breaking cycles of poverty, about empowering the next generation to reach their full potential. And that's a future worth fighting for. Ohio, the Buckeye state, known for its rolling hills and friendly people, faces serious environmental issues. From industrial pollution to harmful algal blooms, the state's industrial history has created a perfect storm. Agricultural runoff pollutes waterways, and climate change exacerbates these issues. These problems impact people, causing respiratory illnesses and contaminated drinking water. By demanding accountability and supporting environmental policies, we can chart a path to a sustainable future. Now, it's easy to point fingers at industry when we talk about environmental problems. And don't get me wrong, industries absolutely have a responsibility to operate sustainably and to minimize their environmental impact. But the reality is, we all play a role in this. Our consumer choices, our transportation habits, our energy consumption, all of these things contribute to the environmental challenges we face. And that means we all have a responsibility to be part of the solution. So what can we do? Well, we can support businesses that prioritize sustainability. We can reduce our reliance on single-use plastics. We can advocate for clean energy policies. We can make conscious choices in our daily lives to reduce our environmental footprint. Because here's the thing, protecting the environment isn't just about saving the planet for future generations. It's about protecting our own health and well-being right now. It's about ensuring that everyone has access to clean air, clean water, and a healthy environment. And that's a future worth fighting for, in Ohio and beyond. Michigan, the Wolverine state, a place of natural beauty, with its Great Lakes shorelines, its vast forests, and its proud automotive heritage. But beneath the surface of its natural splendor and industrial legacy, Michigan faces a serious challenge: a crumbling infrastructure. Roads riddled with potholes, bridges in dire need of repair, and outdated water systems plague communities across the state. You see, infrastructure is the backbone of a thriving society. It connects us, literally and figuratively. It allows for the transportation of goods and services. It provides us with clean water and safe roads, and it underpins our economy and our quality of life. But when infrastructure crumbles, so too does our quality of life. We're talking about costly car repairs from navigating pothole-ridden roads. We're talking about businesses struggling to transport goods efficiently. We're talking about potential health hazards from aging water systems. It's a complex issue, to be sure, often caught in the crosshairs of political debates and budget constraints. But one thing is clear: neglecting infrastructure comes at a cost borne by everyday citizens, a cost that will only continue to grow if left unaddressed. Now, it's easy to joke about Michigan's potholes, believe me, I've done it. But the reality is, this is a serious issue with far-reaching consequences. We're not just talking about bumpy rides, we're talking about a lack of investment in the very foundation of a functioning society. And it's not just roads and bridges, it's water systems, it's public transportation, it's broadband internet access. These are all essential components of a thriving 21st century economy, and yet, in Michigan, they're often neglected and underfunded. So what can be done? Well, it starts with recognizing that infrastructure is not a partisan issue, it's an investment in our collective future. It's about demanding better from our elected officials, about prioritizing long-term solutions over short-term fixes. Because here's the thing, investing in infrastructure creates jobs, it boosts the economy, and it improves the quality of life for everyone. It's about laying the groundwork for a more prosperous and equitable future. And that's a future worth investing in, one pothole at a time. Welcome to New York, the Empire State. Iconic, exciting, but costly. High taxes on everything. Income, property, sales tax, it all adds up. Dream apartment, pricey. Even your morning coffee. Groceries, transport, entertainment, everything's marked up. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, you're just being dramatic. People live in New York every day, and they're not all drowning in debt. And you're right, they're not. But high taxes are a major burden for many New Yorkers. For those just starting out, or families trying to make ends meet, it can be suffocating. It limits your options and forces sacrifices. And it's not just income tax. Property taxes are notoriously high. Even renting isn't cheap. New York City beckons with its possibilities, but remember the price tag. High taxes and the cost of living make it challenging, even if you don't mind the summer garbage smell. Our final stop on this cross-country journey takes us to the natural state Arkansas. Arkansas has its charms, beautiful scenery, rolling Ozark Mountains and sparkling lakes, home to the only active diamond mine in the U.S., and a town called Toad Suck. But it often falls short on recreation and entertainment. The natural beauty doesn't make up for the lack of big city amenities. Generalizing about an entire state is inherently flawed. Every place has its own unique character, and Arkansas is no exception. Many people love living in Arkansas. They find solace in nature and community. But statistically, resident satisfaction is low. Lack of entertainment is a common complaint. Arkansas, the final state on our list of places people are avoiding, it seems to be missing that certain something. And there you have it, folks. The top 10 states in the United States where nobody wants to live. Or at least, that's what the data seems to suggest. From the sky-high taxes of New York to the limited entertainment options in Arkansas, we've explored some of the reasons why people might be hesitant to call these states home, but remember, this is just a lighthearted look at some of the challenges different states face. Every place has its pros and cons, and what might be a deal-breaker for one person could be a non-issue for another. Ultimately, the best place to live is wherever you feel happiest and most at home. Do you agree with our list? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more interesting content. See you next time.